What's up guys, Mickle here, and Ripple swell is officially over, but we might have just gotten one of our most exciting developments yet. Guys, in this video, I want to break down a brand new announcement that just came from Brad Garlinghouse himself, because guys, we are hearing some very interesting words from Brad Garlinghouse in regards to a settlement in the Ripple SEC case, as well as a massive deal with Bank of America right around the corner. Guys, make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. We also have some pretty exciting announcements from Stuart Alderati. He gave us some excellent insight on a massive misunderstanding that a lot of people have in regards to the Ripple SEC case. Guys, this is super important to understand. You are definitely going to want to see it. Like always, guys, your support means so much to this channel. If you want to see more videos just like this, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below and turn on bell notifications. These three simple things go such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. If you guys ever need a good place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the update. So guys, real quick, moomoo has an insane holiday promotion going on right now. You could win up to 15 free stocks and a chance to win up to $60,000 if you sign up with moomoo using the link in the description of this video. Guys, I think you're kind of crazy not to at least try here. This is a lot of money. So guys, make sure to check that out. Moomoo's a regulated exchange. It's a great place to buy and sell stocks. Do not miss out on your opportunity to get some free money. So guys, I want to start out this video and show you a clip of BitBoy Crypto. He was actually on Yahoo Finance earlier today. And guys, this is absolutely awesome. There was almost no one in the mainstream media directly calling out Gary Gensler for his part in creating all the issues with FTX and all the regulatory uncertainty around cryptocurrency. I want to show you guys this because BitBoy Crypto really does an excellent job of breaking down the massive issue that Gary Gensler has brought to the cryptocurrency market. And there is not enough people in traditional media doing this. So this quote right here by BitBoy Crypto is absolutely massive, and it is important that we spread the word and really let everyone know how important it is that Gary Gensler is removed from the SEC. If we really want to see cryptocurrencies prosper in the United States, listen up closely to this.
Gary Gensler has completely screwed everyone in crypto. Everyone who lost any money in Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, FTX, you lost it because of Gary Gensler. His lack of creating clarity and regulation in this space is exactly what has led us to all these offshore companies that do not operate in the United States and are not regulated. His willful, lack of, dereliction of duty is what's led everybody to this point. We want regulated exchanges, but we can't get regulation. We can't get clarity. You can't do everything by enforcement. And Gary Gensler is the most negligent person in the entire space. And I blame him more than I even blame SPF.
Guys, that was absolutely awesome. Honestly, BitBoy Crypto right here, I know a lot of people don't agree with everything he says. It doesn't really matter. What he says right here is facts. There's no debating it. The biggest issue in the cryptocurrency market right now is Gary Gensler has refused to give clear regulations to good companies. What this does is it forces all the good companies who want to work in the United States to move offshore because that's where they have clarity. This gets them entangled with all the sketchy companies who are avoiding the United States because they know they're a bad company and they don't want to work in the United States because they could get in big trouble if they do go in the US. This causes the good companies and the bad companies to mix, and users who just want to invest in cryptocurrencies but don't necessarily know which are the good companies and which are the bad companies can't tell the difference. A lot of these companies look really good on the surface. They're not public companies, so you can't dig into the financials. But Gary Gensler refusing to give clear regulations to companies that want to do the right thing, companies that want to work in the US, is forcing these companies to go offshore and go into jurisdictions that have a lot of sketchy companies as well. This is the biggest issue in the cryptocurrency market right now. If we had clear regulations in the US, then users wouldn't be looking for companies not inside the US. They would see a company outside the US and we would probably know, hey, there's a lot of risk in investing in this company, but say there was a US equivalent to the company that was regulated in the United States, well, there's probably a lot less risk investing in that company. Guys, this is something Gary Gensler has refused to do because he wants to hurt the cryptocurrency industry. He wants to slow it down, and that is more clear than ever. What BitBoy Crypto says here is spot on. Gary Gensler really does deserve just as much blame in the FTX saga than Sam Bankman-Fried, because if Gary Gensler just did his job, FTX wouldn't have been allowed to happen, and at worst, people in the US wouldn't be putting money in FTX because there'd be better exchanges in the US that were safely regulated. Now guys, I want to move on and point out something pretty strange that we found out earlier today. Earlier today, Library tweeted out and said that they're actually going back into another 3+ months of discovery in their case against the SEC. Now, I was under the impression that this case was over, so this was definitely pretty shocking for me and a bunch of other people in crypto. Something else pretty interesting that got pointed out though here that I really couldn't believe is that the judge actually asked the SEC to provide legal clarity on secondary sales, and Library says that the SEC actually smirked and laughed at him. As disgusting as that last part is where the SEC smirked and laughed at him, I think this is pretty interesting because this shows that the judge in the Library case clearly never thought that he made any kind of ruling on secondary sales of the Library token. This is actually a pretty big win because this leaves the potential that secondary sales of the Library token could still not be securities transactions. I have said since the beginning of the Library case that Library got really unlucky with their judge. They got a much older guy who had a very hard time understanding cryptocurrencies, and because of this, I had a really strong feeling that he was going to have a difficult time separating the sale of a crypto asset from the status of the asset itself. The good news is, though, it looks like the judge is kind of coming to this conclusion after the case has already ended. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what this really means for the case going forward. I highly doubt the judge is going to be able to make any determination on what those secondary sales actually constitute. Now, this is a pretty big issue because the fact of the matter is secondary sales of Library make no sense being a securities transaction because how would you and I, if we were to transact in Library, how would we file that to the SEC? It literally makes no sense, but I do think the good news here is that the Library judge kind of pointed out, hey, there's still no clarity on these secondary transactions, so I guess worst comes to worst, I guess Ripple could probably use this and say, hey, the Library judge didn't even answer all the questions, the SEC is trying to act like this was some massive win for them, this guy didn't really understand what he was talking about. Obviously, Ripple lawyers won't say it like that, but they got an old guy who didn't understand crypto, and he was really only talking about Library sales of the asset, not the secondary transactions or the asset itself. Now guys, I want to finish this video off with two massive pieces of news. This first one, I have been beating this drum for a while now. People don't seem to understand it, but it's so important. Stuart Alderati tweeted out earlier today, to be clear, the SEC hasn't labeled XRP as a security, nor does it have the power to do so. One judge put it this way, the SEC can only ask the question and the court ultimately answers. This is something that people have had such a hard time getting through their head, not us in the XRP community, really people outside the XRP community. I have heard so many people come out and say, well, the SEC has already called XRP a security. Guys, the SEC can't actually do that. They don't have jurisdiction over the cryptocurrency industry, and they know that. The fact of the matter is, the SEC brought a theory to the court. They had some idea that XRP might be a security, they think it could be a security, but ultimately it's up to the court to make the determination. The funniest part about this, though, is even though the SEC brought this case saying that XRP is a security, the SEC has done stuff in the past that made it seem like they didn't think XRP was a security. The SEC signed off on papers saying that XRP is a virtual currency. This is a clear statement that they wouldn't look at XRP as a security. So the SEC might have filed this case giving some messed up logic on why they think XRP could be a security, but the fact of the matter is they've done stuff in the past to show they don't think XRP is a security. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the SEC thinks. You could put any corrupt official at the SEC and he could try to say anything's a security, but it doesn't make it a security. This right here, what we're watching is a theory by the SEC that's playing out in court. But lucky for us guys, it looks like the judge is not buying their theory at all. And I have a feeling at the end of the day, it's going to be more clear than ever that XRP was never a security. It was always a commodity. And that is my favorite part about this case. At the end of the day, we're going to win through the justice system. We're going to win because XRP has always been not a security. Ripple has always been on the right side of the law, and we have known this since day one. So guys, I want to finish this video off and actually show you a clip from someone who was inside Ripple Swell. Now guys, this thing is super exciting. It gives you a ton of inside information. I'm just going to let the clip speak for itself because guys, there's not much to say after this. This is super exciting. And let me just say real quick before I play you, When this Ripple SEC case is over, expect fireworks for Ripple's business inside the US, because I already know that there is a massive line of companies just waiting for Ripple to beat the SEC so they can start using XRP to transform their payment systems. Listen up to this.
I'm going to take you through my notes from the day. It's quite loud in here, so I apologize. First thing is, I met with Brad Garlinghouse face-to-face, and Brad was so confident. He's got an air of confidence about him that's unbelievable. I met Brad first in 2019 back in Singapore, and he's even more confident today than he was back then. He made it clear that they're ready to settle with the SEC as long as they can get clarity on XRP. I asked him if American companies were waiting on the sidelines to jump in the game once clarity happens, and he said absolutely. And he specifically said Bank of America. Bank of America is a huge partner of Ripple, and he said Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens, because they're going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by using ODL in the marketplace. So Brad is very, very bullish.
Bank of America is ready when the settlement happens. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.